Hello, welcome to the third episode of Toby Newbie Farmer. In previous episodes we found he'd been left this farm in America. He's a Brit and he still tends to think in sterling rather than dollars. As time goes on he will get used to dollars and he'll probably start thinking that way, but at the moment we've got the hard hand Luke just cultivating field 12, and then after, when he's done, should be enough time then to start seeding. And I think this time we're going to seed with barley. I'm not certain. We'll see what the prices look like. Find the right one. Barley, yeah, I think we'll go barley. It's quite a good price. Right, these stories of what we heard, well, you may have heard with the bad sound I had last week. Glorious tale, but tonight we're going to concentrate on the next child, the second child and the eldest son. He was born in 1948. He was christened Randolph, and as seems to be the way, he soon became known as Randy, which wouldn't have went down quite so well in Britain, with a slightly different meaning. But at school, he wasn't very bright. He was not academic at all. He failed most of his exams. But one thing he really was good at was engines and mechanical things. He could strip a tractor down in no time, and it would still work when he put it back together again. And by the time he was 9 or 10, he was helping out on the farm nigh on full time. As I say, he wasn't too good at schooling, but one of the early holidays the family took together was to Daytona Beach. They went there at the time of the Daytona 200 motorcycle race meet. This fired Randy. He really wanted to do that. So he got back and he bought an old bike, tuned it up and had it go at the local dirt track courses. And he got quite good. By the time he was in his late teens, he was winning local championships and some not so local. He then decided to go up road racing. As we know in in Britain, track racing. I'm not certain exactly what it's called in America, but we know it's road racing. It's on man-made tracks, and he got very, very good at it. So good that by the 1970s dawned, and there was a BSA, and almost his last role as a major motorcycle manufacturer. It brought out the BSA Rocket 3 and the Triumph Trident, triple engined overhead valve 750cc motorcycles. Yes, I'm a little bit of a nerd on motorcycles, amongst other things. And they'd started this transatlantic trophy meet, usually run over the Easter bank holiday. Consists of 6 races on 3 different tracks, 2 per track, between the USA and Britain, all at first riding BSA or Triumph motorcycles. Well, one of the early ones, I can't remember exact year now, but one of the early ones, he actually got picked as a non-travelling reserve. Wasn't quite good enough to make the full team, but he came to agreement with the sponsors of the team and BSA Triumph that if he paid his own fare and for his bike, he could come across. Well, they found him a special offer. But can't one more ride, it didn't really cost him that much more. One more bike. He watched a couple of the first meeting of the transatlantic. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Still got this awful cough. He watched the first meeting, he took part in the support race and done quite well. He decided then he'd stay in Europe for a while, mainly Britain. Britain was still then one of the major motorcycle road race places in the world, which with meetings every weekend through the seasons. So he decided to stay for a while. He actually started here and getting towards the middle of May. People were getting excited about the famous TT races in the Isle of Man. Sorry, another cough. Yes, he heard about these famous races. Well, he had heard about them, but realised they're getting close. So he managed to get digs in the Isle of Man. He decided to watch them. You know, the Isle of Man, for those who don't know, it's ordinary roads, closed just for the race meet. Over 2 weeks, usually the end part of May and the first full week in June. It's held over a 37.75 mile lap. Just think of it. One lap, 37.75 mile on open roads with all the normal stuff you side of the road. Brick walls, telegraph posts, sharp bends, the first campers, and the lap bridge, a jump. And I forget the exact elevation, but it goes from sea level to quite a way up. It goes halfway up Mount Snaefell, along the bungalow section. I used to go fairly regularly and loved the TT races. I was never good enough myself to actually race there, but I wish I had done. That's beside the point. But this fired him up. He was going to go at it. So he came, after his sort of break, he came back sort of end of June, came back to the US, carried on with some farm work, but most of his time now was spent racing. Max was pretty happy. He could see that was where his talents really lie. He wasn't a brilliant farmer, except he could repair all the machinery, so as long as he kept repairing the machinery in between his race meets, Max was more than happy. Come the winter of the next year, which would be about 71, he got the regulations through for the TT. You don't just enter, you send for the regulations of the meeting and enter on the, through those. There's an entry form in there, but you have to read all the regulations first, and it's quite a lot. Even in club racing, it's a couple of pages. But for an international meeting, it's even more so. He prepared himself fully. Through the winter, he was out running whenever the weather was good enough. He was running miles every week. He was doing gym work, weight training. He was going to be in the peak of condition. He wanted to make a name for himself. He managed to arrange with some British dealers who had met the previous year some bikes. One of them was a Triumph Bonneville 650 4-stroke twin overhead valve engine. Very good in production racing, and he was going to use that for the production race. He'd arranged a G50 matchless, which is a 500 overhead cam single cylinder bike with a trick. This one had a trick frame. It didn't just have the ordinary matchless frame, which was perfectly good, but the trick frame was even better. When he got all the stuff together, travelled back to Britain to do a couple of meetings before the TT, very early May. Middle of May, he was over in the Isle of Man. He went over a couple of weeks before the meeting was due to start, and he done lap after lap. He hired a bike and a car, and he done lap after lap. He must have done a couple of 3,000 miles during that time. and not just riding continuous laps, he was stopping, checking the corner out from all directions, checking the lie of the land, seeing the best line through. He was prepared as best he could be. The meeting started, first practice. He went out. He'd done quite well. He was getting the bike bedded in. This was the G50. He decided he wanted more practice on that. He wasn't used to the big single. But the next practice was an early morning one. And when I say early morning, I mean early morning. Start about 6 o'clock. And it runs for about 2 hours. They have to try and fit their practice in between the ordinary road traffic. But as I say, the roads were closed to ordinary traffic during practice TT week for the races. But the rest of the time they were used for the ordinary business. The Isle of Man wasn't too worried because, face it, they were getting hundreds of thousands of pounds in during the course of the meeting through tourists, through people going to watch. And I can tell you now, in the 70s when I used to go across, the island was bursting at the seams. Literally, you had a hell of a job. You didn't book up 6 to 9 months beforehand, you couldn't get digs unless you wanted to pay a really top price. Well, this early morning practice, he decided he took the Bonneville out, done quite well, got it nicely running, was getting used to it, and he just checked it over when he got back. He was getting in the top 10 for the times on that for the production class, which wasn't bad. Next couple of practice sessions were ordinary day ones, which he went through with his other bikes. Say he had the G50. He'd also managed to get hold of a 250cc Yamaha for the smaller class, which is a 252 stroke twin. This was the sort of what they call a production racer, which was a set of bikes made by Yamaha for clubbing races and better. And he had that running rather well, and he decided for the next early morning to take the Bonnie out again. As he knew he had one more practice session on the Bonnie after this, he didn't bother to change the chain, which was getting close to the end of its life. Well, first lap went well. Second lap he was flying. Went over the mountain, he was going down Cregna Bar, which is a downhill straight, which they touched. Even then they were touching quite good speeds. And the corner at the bottom there, you'd slow down about 60 for the corner. Well, you got about halfway down, and the chain broke. Well, Conrod actually went through the engine first. Conrod broke, which put strain on the already weakened chain, which broke. And when the chain breaks, one of three things normally happen. If you're very lucky, the chain just falls off and it's left on the track behind you, and you can freewheel down, you still got steerage. Next best option is that wraps itself around the engine sprocket. Actually, it already damaged it. That wouldn't have really mattered. But the third option, it wraps itself around the rear wheel sprocket, locking the rear wheel solid. And this is what happened. He was going down at somewhere in excess of 100 miles an hour with no steerage because the rear wheel was locked solid. It was snaking from side to side. He could brake, but didn't want to brake too hard. Well, because he didn't want to lock the front wheel at all. It shaved quite a bit of speed off before he got to the bend. At the bend, he couldn't turn. The bike just wouldn't turn. He tried turning and it just wouldn't have it. So he decided there's a slip road down there, and he tried to aim for that, but without the steering, without the fact that the steer because the rear wheel was not solid, he hit the bank. Now, he was still going quick enough that, unfortunately, he hit it straight on. If he'd have hit it slightly to the side, it would have flipped him off. Most probably broke a few bones. He would have spent some time in hospital, but he would have survived. As it was, he hit it straight on. The bike stopped, he didn't. He went over the top. Sorry, another cough. Over the top. Landed on his head on the concrete ground behind this area. He wasn't dead yet. The helicopter came, picked him up and took to Noble's Hospital. Oh dear. I'll be glad when I got over. Took to Noble's Hospital, where 3 hours later he lost his fight for life. That is, in short, the story of Toby. Randy, sorry. A young man who was very good at one thing and was going well, but as seemed to be Max's family by now, he was unfortunate. Everything seems to be conspiring against Max and Willie, of course, again were heartbroken. But we'll come on to the youngest son next time. And at the moment, we'll just have a look around, see what else is happening on the farm. And we'll try and do some proper farming. Well, I think we may have some BGR, some stuff get close to ready in the BGR. You can have a look. Just don't remember where it is now. I'm just gonna switch on everything on this so it doesn't flip me out. Well, I think I might be going the wrong way. Oh no, it's the next turning off. If we go up here, 311, this is the one. You see the weeds are growing well around the fields. No animals yet, they will come. I'll put some stuff in the BGA, try and get some quick money. Money is going to be important, and I hope that Jake manages to finish that field before he runs out of fuel. Let's have a look in there. Let's see. And it's 20%. So I don't think there's any slowdown. This is fairly quick. That should be a couple of days. And we should be able to show that. And there's not much in there, but it's quick money. What we've got to do once we've got that field there sown is we will have to then spray it with herbicide. As it's barley, we can't use AA, we use BB, I think. That's the persistent herbicide. Well, the flowers look pretty in the field. I mean, see what the state of this field is, because it shouldn't want a lot of fertiliser on it, I'm hoping. Right, we'll just hop out and just see what we got here. I'll get rid of that. Oh, that's better. See, there's plenty of moisture in there. Times 7 times 3. We want to bring the PK up a bit. We'll probably spray some PK on there once we put the herbicide down. I think I need it about times 4 or times 5 on nitrogen and somewhere around 4, I think, on PK. Soil pH is okay. But it has been noted that on the soil model in 2015, or on Farmingsim 15, you have to keep the moisture right. There is some dryish areas, and I think that's where the weeds were growing, because we ploughed all the weeds in and all the withered stuff in. You can see the fertiliser still on the surface. Just hop in here. Oh, it'll be alright. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this quite a short episode. I start off a farm like this. There's not too much to do, so we'll just finish this off and just start the scene, and I'll finish the scene off screen, and then fast forward a day, put the herbicide down next time I broadcast. I don't think there's too much else happening around the area, except that at the moment he can't hire anything because Max left too many bills, and hire firm's not too keen on hiring stuff out to him at the moment. But if Toby can prove himself, I'm certain they will start to. Sooner the better, because this homemade cultivator is quite slow, and once we get more fields we're certainly going to want better equipment. I think there's a case of get better equipment before we get more fields. It's because it's catch-22. Without more fields, we're not making the money to get better equipment. Let's have a look here, see what else is going on. Oh yes, we need to get some milk cows, because that's always good value. Or I haven't had a look to see what the sheep are doing. Sheep, not too bad. I think they've got plenty of everything at the moment, but we can find out. There we go. I can remember my way around this map. I played this on version 3 of this a lot when it first came out. So I really do like the map. It's a nice take on Westbridge Hills. And Johnny Fee has done a very good job on it. I ain't got any no wool yet, but don't expect it's only 10 sheep. I'll just put the brake on. Try and behave properly. And then munching away. Still plenty of water in there. I haven't come across any real problems with the 1.3 beta patch, except that actually the higher mod is not working. There was a very good video put up by David Oldfield, who showed the improvements that's been made to it graphically by running 1.2, then running the same equipment on 1.3, and there has definitely been some very good improvements. A couple of 3 more passes in around the headlands. I think this tractor is going to get a lot of use. It's the heaviest tractor we've got. The other one can't pull any, it looks like this. But I think it may well hook that up to the herbicide. Oh, but I don't think it will really take the seeder either. Actually, the best bet is to run this down right to BJ, because it's not going to be doing anything on the farm at the moment. Get the cabin and see what I'm doing. I will do if I steer the right way. Just put the weight on the back. There we go. Where I put the oh, before I do that, I better just set it up for, because I can't remember now which is which. Mount, unmount, there we go. Right, so take off that. Let's go and find the telearms and the bucket, which I think are in here. And we just run this down to the BGA ready. If we learn to line them up. It's got it. Can never quite see where the bucket, we have to come outside. I know it's cheating and all that, but there we go. Oh, way. Flying tractors. I think this engine needs seeing to. It definitely is misfiring badly at the moment. Still at a do's until we can afford something better. But this will probably be the first one to be changed in the tractors. But the combine needs changing first, I think. With these fields on, I think it's a 4.5 metre cut is not going to be much fun. I will, when I'm doing it, I will start, but I won't do a full episode on cutting one field because it could take a long time. I will probably video most of it and then cut it about and edit it, make something slightly worthwhile. Partners just in here. Park it in here so we can just go. I was hoping I could, without parking on it, I was hoping I could have just got. Hello. What did I hit there? What's that down there in front of me? So, must have picked that up, hadn't we? Oh, I'll have to take that back. I'll take that back later. I'll leave the tractor where she is for now. Can't remember leaving that there. Alright, let's just let the forks down. Never want to leave those with them up. If the hydraulics give way, anybody passing under is going to get a nasty headache. Alright, we're just going back to the other one. Oh, he's just finishing off now, so I think I'll just refueling, get him hooked up to the seed and just start seeding. I will be doing more myself later, but at the moment, with the stories to tell, it's easier if I put the hired workers on, in this case Crazy Pete, aka Courseplay, and I just do the talking. If not, I will be even more incoherent than normal. Doesn't actually tell you how much is in the feed trough, which is a bit strange. I've got grass in there, which is good enough because it's given me 110% production. Chicken, there's one egg. I didn't collect that yet. Shit, the prices have changed. No, I think it's going to be good if we can get barley in at 368 a tonne. If we can get somewhere near maximum productivity out of this field, we're going to be doing okay. Can't see any weeds growing at the moment. I think we just got the rest of this straight. It's across the top and down the other side, and we're done. In fact, I could just take over from it now. This should be a laugh. Missed a bit there. I might just turn him around and just... It's a bit too much to miss. I might run these fields and just measure myself. They look to be, the border field look to be slightly bigger than the actual field area. I might just run around the outline of these at some point, or this one at some point, and just redo it. I suppose I could actually get a straight line. I could use not Courseplay, GPS mod, but I think we're doing okay. Oh yeah, looks okay. Just cancel that course, it's better. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit quieter now as I attempt to actually drive in a straight line. I don't want my lack of tractor skills being shown up too much. probably actually get this corner correct for once. Still that bit being missing. Big miss there. When we come over, we catch that. Come down the side. Drop it in again. We probably have missed some weeds. You leave my nutrients alone, weeds. Must remember to refill this. Could do a BP and forget completely. Sorry, BP. Just done. That should do it. Right. Drop this off, refill this. Hook up to the seeder. Just start it off, and I will then finish the episode. Not certain how long it's been going on for, I keep forgetting to put any form of timer up. Still, I never pretend to be professional. Must wash this and all. Check we got the right end set. Yes. I like this fill system better than the one in the last map we done. It was a bit too posh. This one looks a little bit more workmanlike. And there goes the moon. We've got 7,000. We've got 100,000 debt. It would be nice. There's a couple of things I'd love to see done. There's one of them when you have the option of when you actually go into the garage or like that into the bank screen, everything carries on. And the other one I'd really like to see, which would make my life a lot easier, is a system as SCS use on Euro Truck, where you have profiles and you have all the mods in the folder, but you just pick out the ones you want for each profile, or in this case each save game. I'm running 4 different mod folders, and it's a headache remembering to change over to the correct one all the time. Oh, I better fill that up and all. Just blow it on the barley. It's all cost. Turn off again once we're filling up. We'll probably have to fill up 2 or 3 times. Helps if I actually start the engine up first. Not certain if I actually got a course set for seed. I don't think I have. I'll just run the refill course. Let's just see what we have in our field bar. No, just a fertilizer refill. So we will just run up this side, get to go back this side. Make too much difference. Start it here. All I'm doing is chasing the course to refill to the refill point. Go this way around, doesn't make too much difference. Around we go. Get it nice and close to the refill. Should do it. Back out this way. Again, it doesn't really matter where we end it. It will find its last place, but we just end it. There should be fine. Alright, we'll just call that field 12 seed refill. Cancel that. Field 12 with 3.1. Drop to 3. We start northeast, go south. We do 1 headland after. And we've got that done. Then we pull in the seed refill, just bump that into the correct folder, keep it nice and neat. First waypoint. Let's find out where the first waypoint is. There somewhere. don't want the ridge markers, because just turn those off. It's better. It's not too bad within game seeders, but some of the modern seeders, if you have the ridge markers active, Courseplay doesn't like a lot. Anyway, with that, I think I will say thank you for watching. Please comment, and if you do, be kind. I'm an old man. Only joking. Any comments you got, feel free. And I will see you with another one in this series next week. I'm trying to do one of these a week and one of the Old Ridge series a week. Cheerio for now.